Hi, I'm Hazel, and today I'm going to show you how I put together a lazy person's version of a speed set that gives me nearly mount speed indoors. It's 199%, but I'm rounding up. Before we get started, full credit where it's due, I came across this item list created by Gaff, who wrote this document and then posted it in the Studen Albatroz Discord. Studen makes gold making videos and has speed set videos available. I will link his channel down below. So, like I said, this is the lazy version of the speed set, so I'm not following the document to a T because I couldn't be bothered to change my professions. You can go much faster than this with jewel crafting, but it seemed like it was going to take some time, and I really didn't want to drop my engineering because what's moving faster than a wormhole around Shadowlands, you know? So what's the point? Why go so fast? A speed set is usually for farming old content because, you know, our item level's a little lower, so we're not going to be doing like Shadowlands level damage, but you can zoom through old dungeons, maybe for mounts, maybe for transmog, maybe for stuff to sell, maybe just because you want to go really fast, it's up to you. Throughout this video, I am using the Deja character stats add-on, and that's how I'm tracking my exact movement speed for satisfaction purposes. Step 1 is to use a druid. I had one already, but if I was going to level a fresh one, which I almost talked myself into, I would use a worgen to get the dark flight racial. If you play horde, then Zandalari troll is your best bet with the embracive gonk racial. Some people like to use a level 50 character for this because they get loot at a lower item level and can see like more valuable items drop because they might be used for twinking. I'm just using a 60. If you didn't have a druid, you could mess with like a rogue or a hunter, but druid is fastest. For Covenant, I have taken Night Fae for soul shape. I don't normally play Night Fae, so I just swap Night Fae whenever I want to farm, and then I swap back when I'm done, and I make sure that I have the Tireless Pursuit Finesse Conduit slotted into my soulbind somewhere. These are the talents that you want to use, so we're going to be running around in balanced spec, but we are spec'd into Feral Affinity, and then we run around in cat form and we spam swipe to kill things. I also like to spec into Tiger Dash because it makes you fast. For gear, there's a couple of different factors that play into how fast we go, and the most important thing is getting 3 BFA Azurite pieces that have the Longstrider trait on it. Bonus points if it also has the On My Way trait on it, but Longstrider is really important. I am using the benthic chest and shoulders, which you can just buy on any character for a couple of mana pearls each, and then mail to your druid. That was very fast. And then for the helmet, that's a little bit trickier. You can check BFA World Quest to see if the Gonk's Outrunner mask is up, and if not, then get yourself to Toldagor and see if you can farm a flash powder hood from the last boss. That is what I did. You can solo Toldagor at level 60 if you have gear, but it'll go much faster if you grab a friend or two to help you crush it. It's a little bit of RNG because it is a gear drop off of a dungeon. I ran it like 5 times or so before it dropped, but if you get lucky, you can get it faster. Make sure that you spec all of that gear to include that Longstrider trait. For your neck, don't forget to put on your Heart of Azeroth. You will need that to activate the traits from all of that BFA gear. A higher level Heart of Azeroth is better. I happen to play BFA on this character, so mine is level 88 or something like that, but just have a Heart of Azeroth on at the very least. For bracers, we are using the Oath of the Elder Druid Legendary Bracers. The memory power for it can be bought in Oribos for 1,500 honor points. You could get that in like a battleground or two, or, you know, depending on how much you win. If you didn't have any, I happen to have some honor and soul ash already on me, so I just went ahead and crafted one of these at the highest item level that was still cheap. A higher item level will be better, so if you're just rolling in gold, then make the best one that you can, but they're expensive, so I just made the 210 one. As far as the missives, we are jamming as much of one stat as possible in this whole build, and crit was easiest, so I am going for as much crit as possible, so 1 crit missive, and then the other one didn't matter. I think I went haste. For your feet, what you're looking for here is a pair of boots that are level 50 or lower so that they can take an enchant, which we'll get to in a bit. I just looked on the auction house for a pair of boots level 50 or lower with crit, and then bonus points if you can find something with speed or with a socket or both. For hands, belt, legs, and weapons, we are looking for high stats with as much crit as possible, and once again, bonus points if you can find yourself any sockets or plus speed items. I had happened to find these speed gloves with a socket in Tomb of Sargeras during a mount run, so I slapped those on, and then I bought a couple pieces of Shadowlands crafted gear. For my weapons, I just kept my PvP weapons because they had some crit, but again, if you can find anything that has speed or sockets, then go for it. As far as rings, once again, we're looking for crit and sockets. You want the highest item level that you can wear. I bought a Shadowlands crafted ring, and then I am still wearing my PvP ring. For trinkets, there are special sprint trinkets that you can wear that are talked about in this document. I couldn't be bothered. I was more interested in my flat movement speed and not like my buffed movement speed. I didn't want too many buttons to mess with, so I'm just wearing the PvP trinkets I already had since they had a good amount of crit on them. There are other options, I just decided not to try too hard. That brings us to gems, and hopefully you have at least 3 gem slots and preferably a couple more at this point. What I did is I popped in a Straddling Viridium, Straddling Sage Agate, and Straddling Jewel Doublet, the movement speed gems. Those require higher item levels, so they cannot go in your boots, but you just get direct movement speed from those, and that Straddling Viridium is going to give you more movement speed if you have more Shadowlands gems in additional gem sockets. So any extra slots that you can fill with Shadowlands crit gems, those deadly jewel clusters, will power up the Straddling Viridium. I popped the Viridium into my legendary bracers. For enchants, I went with Fortified Speed on Cloak because it was cheap, and minor speed to the boots, that was important. For the rest of them, just crit. So I've got tentative crit on my rings. You can put deadly navigation on your weapon. I forgot to do that. Any other crit enchants you can find that you can apply to the rest of this would be good, but I didn't really bother going beyond that. Putting together this set, between crafting the legendary, shopping for stuff, and running Tol Dagor took me about an hour, and I'm going 199% in cat form without my sprints. I don't think I spent more than about 20k or so because I'm very cheap. Spending more gold and time setting up jewel crafting as well as gathering more crit will absolutely make you go faster than this though. Gaff, who wrote the original doc, was going apparently 210.4% as of writing it, so dream big. I can't go that fast though, I gotta think about where I'm going. So how to use it? You put your stuff on, you run around, you soul shape, you tiger dash, you spam swipe whenever you're near mobs, you loot stuff, you have fun. Another add-on that I would recommend to pair with this for maximum fun is Loot Appraiser. And then also TSM, so I guess 2 add-ons because TSM is what feeds Loot Appraiser its prices. But Loot Appraiser is how I'm getting this delightful ding sound and the value of an item popping up on my screen when I loot a particularly juicy green out of a dungeon. Loot Appraiser is super fun. You can use it to track the total value of the sellable items that you may have looted during a given session. You can use it to compete with friends if you have any friends that also put together speed sets and race in dungeon runs to see who can get more theoretical gold. Mind you, it is theoretical gold, you know, not everything is going to necessarily sell for market price, and even if it does, it certainly might not sell quickly. I have a habit of posting things very, very cheap because I like to think that I'm feeding transmog to the people, and probably irritating some people. My apologies to the transmog sellers on Lightbringer. But there's nothing more fun than running through a dungeon and seeing some really big numbers pop up, even if you may or may not get that much in practice. The other nice thing about being a druid is it negates the need to have to run all the way back through a dungeon in order to reset it. Just dreamwalk when you've reached the end of the dungeon, vendor anything that you don't want to keep to free up some space in your bags. You could also post things if you happen to have a Brutosaur. And then dreamwalking again is going to take you back to outside the instance entrance of the instance you just finished. So if you want to spam run the same one over and over again, being a druid means that you don't have to do the whole run in reverse. Although if you did want to do the run, at least you're fast now. Style is both not necessary but very important. I recommend macroing your best trinkets into your tiger dash. I use my prismatic bauble so I can be a rainbow cat. I have also chosen a mascot battle pet. I picked out Speedy to come with me on this journey. And then I set up a themed transmog to make me look as fast as I feel that I will never see because I'm perma in cat form, but look how fast I look. And that's my speed set. Thank you so much for watching. Have fun zooming and have a wonderful, wonderful day.